Okay, right. Hello everyone, welcome back to the free Splunk SIM Bootcamp. So today is the last day, like Murhan was telling in the chat, right? Today is the last day of the first batch of the bootcamp, right? Today we are going to see MSSP implementation on the brute force attack, right? So we are going to connect Windows servers with SOAR and Splunk, and we are going to set up an end-to-end setup. I'll explain you what that setup is in a minute. Before starting today's session, is there any questions? Okay, I'll take the task now.
Hi, Amnish.
Yes, Salika.
So this session would be going till 5:30 today?
Yes. Today is going to be 2 hour session actually. We'll see.
Okay.
I mean, I was planning for 1 hour, but I think it will stretch maybe extra 30 minutes. So that's the reason I have kept it as 2 hours actually.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Okay. If there is no further questions, let's jump into the use case today. Right. Let me share my screen. Okay. Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Okay. Great. Thank you. So first, let me explain what are the servers we have and what are we trying to attempt today, right? What is the implementation? So that's what I'm going to explain now. So let's see that quickly, and then we'll jump into hands-on. Okay. So the first thing is, for example, in your organization, you might have your Windows machine, right, which was given to you, but everyone will have a Windows machine, and all the users will be managed by an admin, like a Windows AD server, which will be maintained by your company's admin team, right? So the same setup, right? So we are going to have two Windows server. So Windows 1 and then Windows 2. Okay. So this one is the Active Directory, right? Where the users will be maintained, and the second server, right? So this is what is our client machine. So in this client, I'm going to have two users. Okay. So the first user is Ramani and the second user is Murugan. Okay. So Ramani at softmania.test. Okay. So this is the domain. So it's the same follows. So these are the two users who can access this client machine. Okay. So this Windows server, right? It is acting as a AD and also domain controller. Okay. Right. So this is the two setup, and this is connected to the AD server. So this setup, it is clear, right? Any doubts here? Right. Okay. So now we have two users, right? Ramani at softmania.test and Murugan at softmania.test. Now what happens is suddenly there was a like repeated login and failed logins, right? When that is happening, we want the user with which user they are trying to log in, right? That user to be disabled, right? But the AD, whoever is managing the AD, right? The admin, he can't sit every time and check which user is trying to attempt to log in. There was a failed login, right? He can't keep track of how many failed logins has occurred, right? In that case, so this has to be automated. Okay, so that is the requirement. Okay, now we are going to use the Splunk enterprise and SOAR to achieve this automation. Okay, whenever there was a failed login on a particular user for like that is a brute force attack, right? For the people who know attacks, right? Multiple attempts, user attempts, right? So that is going to failed user attempts. So that is brute force attack. So we want to restrict that user. So we are going to use Splunk enterprise and SOAR to achieve that. So what we are basically going to do is I'm going to forward, let's say I have a Splunk server here and then SOAR. which we have configured in the previous sessions itself, right? So Splunk, basically in our scenario, we have three servers. I'll tell you where to configure what. So now when from this Windows server, the logs has to be sent to Splunk. All the logs, right? All the user related logs and whatever the logs related to the user login, that has to be sent to the Splunk. And then Splunk, when it sees an unusual behavior of a user, right, it has to trigger a alert. Okay, we have to configure an alert here. What does that alert do? It will trigger a playbook in SOAR. So we have to create a playbook here. Now, what this playbook should do? So this has to, yeah, anyone wants to give it a try? Oh,
It
yes,
locks
Anusha.
the account
Exactly.
of that user.
Right, that is correct. It has to go to your AD server. Sorry. AD server, and it has to disable the user account. Okay. Is this setup clear? What we are trying to achieve?
Ramani, I have a question.
Yes, Anusha.
So if we are doing a lockout of the user, maybe he can try after a few minutes of lockout, a few hours of lockout, he can again try brute force, right?
Okay. We are not actually locking out. We are disabling that user itself.
Okay.
Yeah, only the admin who has the access to the AD server, right? He has to go and enable that account unless the user can't, even the valid user, right? For example, if from my account someone is trying to log in, they have logged it. Even though I have a correct password, I won't be able to log into that server. So they have to enable the account, right? So that is what we are trying to achieve today. So I hope the scenario is clear. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Now. So let's stop with the concepts and
Ramani, I have a doubt
yes.
actually.
Yes, please.
So you have mentioned two users here, right? Ramani and Murugan. So you're telling that these users are already there, like
Yes.
so that would not be a brute force attack, right? Because
No.
you have specifically given access to these users, which might be working for this project or something like that. So brute force is something we could, let's say, some user from some other area or some country is trying to some he might have found this URL on Google or somewhere. He might be trying a brute force attack from his side, like trying a trial and error method to so that he could able to pass on the credentials and try to log in. So can we not understand in that way, like an anonymous user trying to log in? Because
Yes.
in that case we cannot disable the user access, right? Because there would be no disabling option because the user is not there.
That is a separate use case. So
Yeah.
here what we are using is the username is got leaked. Okay, username got leaked. So for password they don't know. So they are just trying different kinds of password to find the password here. So
Mm-hmm.
username is leaked. Of course, when it comes to the brute force, there are different types of brute force attacks you can have. So, but here the what we are assuming is the username is leaked. For this username, they are trying different passwords. That is what the scenario here.
Okay.
Yeah. So
So
we are
and
not.
uh,
Go ahead, please.
so here in the Splunk alert, you have mentioned alert, right? So we will be writing the alert query or something, right, to trigger.
Yes.
So
Yes.
in that,
Yes.
you will be writing like if any user is trying like the action is equal to and trying more than the count of this thing like
Yes.
10 or 20 in some time. That's how you
Yes.
write, right?
Exactly.
Yes.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
what. Based on that count only, we are going to write the query, and based on that, alert will be triggered.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Right. Okay. Okay, then I think we are good to proceed with the hands-on.
One more thing.
Yes. Yes.
So in the same query of the alert, you will be
Mm.
mentioning the playbook name itself, right?
No. That won't be mentioned. I'll show you. Like when
Okay,
we are configuring, right? In that alert, I'll tell you where we have to do that.
okay, sure.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay. Now, let me go to my labs. Okay, let me close this. Okay, right. So this is our lab setup, right? Which we have installed all the servers, right? So the Windows AD and client I have already created. Whatever the setup I have told you, right? AD and DNS, we have the Active Directory configured with the domain whatever I have showed in the notepad, and then the client. It has two clients, like I said, Ramni and Murugan. Those two clients are created in the Windows machine, right? So I already created that setup. Okay. Now let's proceed with the actual steps, right? Now let me go here. The first step what we are going to do is we have to connect the Active Directory with the SOAR, right? SOAR has to disable the user account in the Active Directory. So that's what first we are going to connect. Okay. Now let's start that setup. For that, okay, the Windows onboarding, yes, it is there, but let's proceed with this one. Okay, for this we need certificates. Okay, I'm going to generate the certificate in the Active Directory server Windows machine, and then I'm going to install the same certificate in the SOAR as well, so that the communication will be encrypted, right? So this is required, so that's why we are doing this. Now let me connect to the Active Directory Windows server. I hope my screen is still visible. I'm sharing the right screen, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So now let me connect to the Windows machine. Okay, sorry. So this one should be admin. And here I have to paste the password. Okay, right. I have logged in, but before that, so first let's onboard the Windows data, right? In the previous session when we onboarded, right? So which server did we onboard from? We onboarded the logs from the AD and DNS server to our Splunk using the universal forwarder, but we didn't do it for client. Let's quickly do that. The same procedure, right? We have to install the universal forwarder and we have to enable the Win event logs. So the same procedure. Let's quickly do that and then let's proceed with the other setup, or else it will be interrupting, like so that's the way. So let me connect to this server. So now I'm connecting to the Windows client, because based on this only we'll be writing the query. Okay, one second. Okay, sorry, this IP is wrong. Then I'll copy the password. Okay, right. Just so now in this we are going to install the universal forwarder and forward the logs to our Splunk. So for that, in previous session, we have downloaded the universal forwarder from the splunk.com website itself, but I have that in a separate directory today just to save time. So I'll use that file. I'm going to use the same universal forwarder 9.4.1 version. So from my local, I created a separate folder with that package, right? I downloaded the universal forwarder package in the local, and I have it here. So let's use that. Okay, I have that file here. First, let me copy this. I'll copy both the files. I'll tell you what that is, inputs.conf file in some time. So for now, let me put both in the downloads directory of this remote server. This might take some time. In the meantime, we'll go to the indexer and create a separate index to store this client's data, okay? So that we can see the separation, okay? So I'll go to the indexer. So I have logged in here. So I'll go to settings, indexes.conf. So previously the Active Directory logs, right? The Windows Server, which we already onboarded in the previous session. So that we onboarded into the main index, right? Because we didn't give any index name specifically, but this as a client data. So I'll store it in a separate place. So I'll create a new index. I'll name that as win underscore idx, right? Let me save this. Okay. So the index is created. Okay. Now let's go back. Okay, right. It is copied. Right. Now let's install the Splunk forwarder. Okay, let me accept the license. And yes, we are dealing with Splunk Enterprise. Customize option. The folder is good. Next. We are not using SSL in the universal forwarder to the connection. So, and I'm going to install the universal forwarder as a local system. Let's click on next. Yeah. So in previous session, right, we have checked these boxes to send the data, right, if you remember. But I'm not going to check these boxes, because if you check these boxes and if you install the universal forwarder, right, it will automatically send the logs to your main index, right? So we don't want that behavior. I want this logs to be sent to a separate index which we created. So that's the reason I'm not going to select anything now, and I'm going to click on next, which means the inputs.conf file will not be created. Okay. And I'm going to create the admin username and password. And let's click on next. And the deployment server, no, we don't have deployment server set up. So let me go to click on next. And receiving indexer. So which server IP we have to give here? So we have heavy forwarder indexer search it. So obviously we have to use the heavy forwarder's IP there. So let me copy. And then the port. In previous session itself, we have enabled the 9997 port in the receiving side of your intermediate heavy forwarder. So I'm just going to give the data port itself, and then let's click on next. Let's click on install.
Sorry, Ramani, Otman speaking. I didn't
Yes.
understand why you didn't enable the log sending.
Your voice is not audible. Sorry.
Not
Yeah,
clear.
Yeah.
Not clear.
Yeah. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. I have a quick question just regarding. I didn't understand why you didn't enable the log sending from a Windows machine.
Okay, you're asking why we are sending the logs from Windows machine to the Splunk. Is that correct?
Sorry.
You're
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So based on this logs only, like all the failed attempt logins, right? It will be tracked in your Windows machine, right? So we are forwarding those logs to your Splunk, and in the Splunk, when we are going to write the SPL query, it will check these logs, and then it will create the alert based on the failed attempts.
Okay, but you didn't enable the log sending, for example, security logs and the.
Okay, you're saying I didn't selected it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That is the next step. I'm going to copy the configurations directly.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll show you.
Thanks.
No problem. Right. So now I copied another one file, right? Inputs.conf. So within this only, I have the default configuration to onboard all those logs which we selected manually, right? So those logs, right? You can. Okay. So these are those logs. If you remember in the last session itself in the inputs.conf, I have shown you like once we select how the logs are being, the inputs are being created in the inputs.conf file. I have copied that and I have kept it in this file. Okay. So here only one line I have added it extra, which is index is equal to win underscore idx. Now, if we give this configuration and if we restart the universal forwarder, right, all your logs of this server will be forwarded correctly to the index which we created now. Okay, so that's the reason I didn't checked it. Now I'm going to copy this configuration and I'm going to put it in the universal forwarder, right? Let me copy, or you can just copy paste the file itself. That is also good. So now where should we go? In the C drive, program files. Yeah, in under the Splunk universal forwarder, etc apps, we have Splunk universal forwarder within local. So this is where we have to create the inputs.conf file, right? Or we can just simply copy that from the. So I have this file, right? I'll just copy it here. Okay. Just to check. Yes. Okay, that file is copied. We are good. Now I'm just going to restart the universal forwarder from the services. Yeah, forwarder. I'll just restart. Once this is restarted, right, we should start seeing the logs here. Let's check in the search it. Yeah, index is equal to when underscore idx for the last 15 minutes. Okay, we started receiving the logs, right? So yeah, security system application, we have started receiving all the logs. So you can verify the host name which belongs to our server, right? Yeah. Okay, sorry. You can check over here.
Ramani, I have a question.
Yes, Anusha.
So if we are onboarding some input.conf wrong file, is it possible from Splunk to delete those records?
Okay.
You can hide those records. So from the UI, there is a command called pipeline delete. You can hide it, but you cannot selectively delete the events from the index. Either you need to delete the whole index I mean, you need to clean whole index and re-index the data. Particularly selecting the events and deleting is not possible.
Oh.
You can hide it from the UI. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Right. Okay. So we have onboarded the logs from our Windows client machine to our Splunk. Okay. The data onboarding part is completed. Now let's come back to the automation part, right? So coming,
A quick
yes,
doubt
yes,
actually.
yes,
Uh,
Alex.
so, so we didn't create outputs conf because we have already mentioned the IP and the port while
Yes,
installing, right?
yes, yes, that is correct.
If you go and see if, the outputs conf file, it will be already there, right?
Yes, 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 that is created already. Let me quickly show you. So in the etc system local, yeah, this file is already created. You can check the IP and the port.
Okay, right.
Yeah. Okay. Coming back. Now I'm going to go to the Active Directory and I'm going to create the certificate. Okay. So this is the Active Directory, right? So now I'll go to the server manager and okay. Yeah. So now, okay, I think this won't be good. So I'll just keep the document in a different screen and I'll just follow it here. I'll share the documentation once the class ends. Okay. So now let's go to the server manager. So from here, I'll go to manage and add roles and features. Okay, it is still processing. Let's wait for some time. Okay, right. Now let's click on next. And yeah, let's leave the default option, role based one, and we'll check the server. So yes, let's click on next. So this is where we have to check this certificate services, AD certificate services, and then click on add features. Okay, yeah. Now let's click on next, and we are good. Let's click on next. So here we have to make sure the certificate authority is selected, and yeah, let's click on next. Yeah, okay, all these are selected. Good. Now let me install. Okay, it is done. Installation. Once this is done, let's close it. Okay, right. So now we are going to configure the Active Directory certificate services on the destination server. Let me click this. Okay, so here, so this is the credentials of Minya and administrator. Now let's click on next. Yeah, here check the certification authority, and then it is processing. Yeah, let's click on next. Enterprise CA, yes, let's click on next. Yeah, root CA is good. Next. So mostly these are all default option. Let me click on next. And key length and SHA. This is also good. Yeah. So this one is also good. Default option 5 years, and okay, certificate base location. I think this is where we have to change. Okay, let's leave it as it is. Let's click on next. Configure and close. Okay, now we have did the required part. The CA is authorized. Now let's go and create the server certificate. Sorry. Now the certificate is created within your server. We want that to be copied to the local. Okay, so let me go to the location. Okay, Windows R. What is the location? It is personal certificates. Yeah, the certificate which we created just now is here. Okay, and we also have to verify that whether this is in the trusted root certification authorities as well. So I'll go there as well, and within the certificates we should see the same name here. Yes, it is here. Okay, now I'm going to export this certificate. So we are going to take this and export it, and then we are going to import within our SOAR server. So let me go to all tasks and export. Next. Yeah, so here please select the base 64 encoded certificate format, and we'll keep that in downloads. So the file name, I'll use the same one here so that we can reuse the name. Okay, save. Now let's click on next, finish. Okay, now if we go ahead and if we check, yeah, that certificate is here. Okay, now we have to copy this to our local. Okay, from local I'll copy this to SOAR. Okay, using SCP command. To do that, I'll just copy, and I have a my local here, right, connected here, so I'll use that. I'll put it in the same location where I have my universal forwarder package. Yeah, so within this folder only I'll copy. Okay, it is copied. Right now our work is over here. The only thing we have to check is whether 636, this port, is open or not. Okay, this is for LDAP connection. So now let's check that in the inbound rules of the Defender. If not, we have to enable it. Do we have that here? Okay, it is already there. Secure LDAP. Yeah, so this connection is already here. We are good. If this is not this port is not enabled, you have to enable it, but it is enabled. So let's proceed to the next step, which is we have to copy the certificate to the SOAR. Okay, now I think I'm going to bring the document here. Okay, now the local folder where we copied the file, it is here. Okay, now we have the certificate here. I'm going to copy this to the SOAR server. So this is the command which I'm going to use. So scp-i and the PIM file and the file which we want to copy, and user to which server we have to copy, and the folder. Okay, we have to copy to our SOAR. So I'll collect my SOAR IP and here I'll paste it. Okay, I think we are good. This is one expected thing. Let me. The file permission, it is open, so I'll just go and change that file permission. So the PEM file, right, I have it in downloads, and if I check in the properties, we have some unwanted permissions here. So let me remove that. I also remove everyone. Apply, okay, okay. Now I'll close this and coming back. Let me try. Yes, it is copied. Okay. Now we can connect to the server. SOAR server backend, and we can check. Okay, instead of command prompt, let's go ahead with mobile storm. You can also use command prompt, but I'm more familiar with this one. Okay. Okay. Right. So now we can check once whether we have the file copied. Yes, we have the Softminia Windows 1 certificate, right? Now let's switch to the root user. In this path, I'm going to copy the certificate. Okay. Now if I give LL, you should see it there. Yeah, it is there. Now I'll switch as a phantom user. And I'm going to import that certificate within SOAR folder. And let me restart the service. Okay, we are good, right? The certificate is imported successfully. Now, finally, we have to check the security groups or network level firewall, to be specific, right? In the SOAR, we have to check whether in the outbound rules we have 636 enabled, and from the Windows Server network firewall, we have to check 636 is enabled on the inbound rules. Okay, let's check that. So from the SOAR, we have to check in the outbound rules. Okay, we have all the ports enabled, which is not recommended in production. This is just demo setup, so I have everything open here. And for the Windows AD server, we should have 636 in the inbound. Okay, we have a range for the TCP, so it is included here. Okay, now I don't have to open it again. Yeah. Okay, we have verified this step as well. Okay. So now only we have created a certificate in the AD server, and we have installed, imported it in our SOAR server. So this is the step we have did so far. And now let's proceed to the next step. Right. So in the next step only, we are actually going to connect the AD server with the SOAR. Okay. For that, you should have a Splunk SOAR with admin privileges, which we have, and then as Windows Server, yes, and it is the Windows Server which is permitted as a domain controller, which we already configured, and configured with the binding user SOAR admin. We have to create a separate user with the domain admin rights. Using that only, your SOAR will be communicating with your Active Directory. So we have to create that user and allocate the domain admin permission. Then we'll be able to proceed. Okay. So I'll go to my Active Directory server. Is this the Active Directory? Okay. For the time being, I'll just close my client so that I won't get confused. So the client machine is 3. Okay. Okay, right. Now I'll go to the Active Directory and I'll create the new user. New user, and I'll give the name as SOAR admin. I'll give the same name here. Let's click on next. Password. Let me set one password. Just make sure you're adding numbers and some special characters here. Okay. Let me make a note of it. Okay. At 2026. Okay. Let me click on next and finish. Okay. The user is created, right? So now if you check here, we will have a group called domain admins, right? Properties. So let's see the members. We have only administrator as a member of this group. So I'll add the user which we created. Yes. Let's click on OK. Apply. Okay. Okay. Now we are good. The user is created here. Coming back. So this step is done. All the prerequisites are done. Now going to the SOAR. I'll log in. So the credentials are.
Ramani, sorry,
Yes, yes.
just regarding the privilege in the user, SOAR user.
Sorry.
Just regarding the privilege that you given for the SOAR user, we could not given just read-only privilege.
Sorry. I didn't understand. So can you repeat your question?
Yeah, just regarding the privilege actually that you give it to the SOAR user.
Which permission I mean which group I added?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay.
The permission. We could not given just the read-only permissions.
Okay. Let me check. Okay. I didn't specify anything. Like I just added it as a member to this group. That's it.
It's just like a domain admins
Yeah.
we added. As this is a lab environment, we just added as an admin. But in real time, you will just have a specific access actually. Here,
Okay.
we are just adding it to that, just to reduce the complexity.
Yeah, my question is just mandatory to given admin permission or not?
Yeah, just to raise the complexity.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Right. Coming back. Let me collect the username and password of the SOAR. I think it is.
Ramani, one time.
Yes, please.
The account that you created, right, in real time, we usually don't have access to domain controllers.
Yes.
And we would not be able to create the account also. So in that case, connect with the Windows team. We ask them to create one and share the credentials with us. And we use
exactly. Yes, Rajeshwari, that is the process.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mohammed has a question. He raised a hand.
Okay.
Yeah, I have. Thank you. Actually, I have one concern for how we are integrating AD with the SOAR. The same process will be employed on all the solution which we are going to integrate in future. Like let's example, we want to integrate anomaly or tip. So we need to create a local user on the technology. Then we need to share with this ID and password with the SOAR admin.
Yes. So for each and every connection, there is a procedure in SOAR. I think there is a playbook
Documentation.
directory.
Yeah.
Documentation. Like there you can follow. And I think we will share the documentation. You can follow.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Now again. Okay. Yes. SOAR local admin and the password is password. Sign in. Okay. To connect this AD server, right, we have a separate app in the SOAR itself. So I'm going to use that app. Okay. Looks like yesterday I just logged in. Okay, right. Okay. So yeah, yesterday how we okay. Let me skip onboarding. I'm not going to onboard anything now. Yeah. So here, this was the screen which we saw yesterday, right? In the home, I'm going to install a new app using this apps button and click on new app. So the app name is LD, LDAP. Is that right? Yeah. Okay. So this is the one. I'm going to install it. So I have to enter my Splunk account, password and username. Okay, right. It is installed. Now the next step is we have to configure an asset for it. So this is the app. Configure new asset. And the asset name, right? I'll give AD admin. Yes. So I'll leave all these as it is and click on save. So this is where I have to enter the IP host name of the Active Directory server. So I'll get that. Windows Active Directory. So I'll copy the private IP and the username and the password which we created, right, in Windows Server. So I'll give that, and the password is and this one, right, force the use of SSL protocol. It should be yes, it should be selected, and we have the port 636, right. Other options you can leave it as it is, and let's click on save. Okay, it is saved. Now let's check the connectivity. Right, the test connectivity passed, which means our credentials are good, right? So now this one SOAR is connected to the Active Directory. So these were the steps which we were doing. Now we are good. Now let's move to the next step. Okay, now we have to create a user in the SOAR. Okay, and using taking that credential, we'll be giving that in a Splunk. How we did for Active Directory and SOAR, right? Similarly, we have to create a user within SOAR, and I'm going to take that and I'll use it in Splunk while I'm going to connect these two. Okay, now the procedure. Let me go to the administration. So here, go to user management, user. So by default, we have two. I'll create a new user. The username, I'll give the name as Splunk. And password. Okay, one second. Okay, not here. 1 minute. Okay, I have it here. Sorry. I was thinking. Automation, and we have to select observer. And what is other required fields? Default. Yeah, this one I should have selected automation. User type, right? I didn't change that. So that's the confusion. Okay, the username is Splunk. and then allowed IP, I'll allow it from anywhere. But if you want to just give the searched IP, you can proceed with giving only searched IP. And then default label, it is events, and the roles, automation and observer, right? Because we are going to use this user to just connect with the Splunk, not for any other manual login. So yeah, it is done. Now click on this 3 dots and click on edit. This authorization configuration for REST API, this value is there, right? We have to copy this one, and I'll keep it somewhere. Yeah. So this is the value which we'll be using in the Splunk to connect with the Splunk SOAR. Now let me click on save. Okay, that's all the steps from the SOAR side. Once that is copied, now let's move over to the search it. Okay. But when we are working with the search it, right, we have some prerequisites that has to be done. We in this screenshot you may see that we have some Splunk SOAR, Splunk app for SOAR, Splunk app for SOAR export, right? So these apps we haven't installed in the previous when we install the SOAR. So we have to do some prerequisites and then we have to proceed with the connection. Okay. So that one, yeah. Okay. In the search it, you have to install the Splunk app for SOAR export. So this is the search it. I'll go to find more apps. Splunk app for SOAR export. Yeah, so this is the one. I'll install it. We have to restart. And the next step, we have to install Splunk app for SOAR in indexer. I'll go to the indexer and similarly I'll install the other app. Splunk app for SOAR. Okay, so this is also asking, is it restarted? Okay, let me restart this one as well. We have another prerequisites app, that is common information model, which should be installed in your search. So once that restart is done, we'll do it. Okay, I'll log into the search. Okay, it is saying open up, which means it is installed. And I'll also go for common information model. Okay, right. The installations are done. Now, if I go to Splunk Enterprise homepage, okay, I see the Splunk app for export. And if we go inside and check in the manage apps, the SIEM app that should also be installed. Now in the indexer, let's check. Yes, that app is also installed in your indexer. Now let's move on to the next step. Okay, we don't need data model acceleration. We won't be using SIEM for today's use case as we are only using the SPL query. So I'll skip this step for the time being. Yeah. So we have to give the configurations in the app, the SOAR app, whatever we have installed. So I'll go to the search it, and here, yeah, let me open this app, Splunk app for SOAR export. In this app, go to configurations. And if you scroll to the right, you will see create server. Click on that one. Okay, before that, I have to give the permission for the user. Sorry, I forgot that. For admin user to communicate with your SOAR, right, it should have some roles attached to it. So I have to attach that roles. So I forgot that. One step back, I'll go to settings and roles. Okay, right. So here I will go to the admin and I'll click on this phantom and yeah, so those that's it. And capabilities, let's leave everything as it is. In the inheritance, right, you just have to check the phantom here. And let me click on save. Yes, I acknowledge. That's it. Okay, now this is done. And one more step to be done in the backend, right? We have to disable the HTTPS certificate verification. So let me copy this, and this should be done in your backend. So I'll connect to the search it backend. Go to the downloads folder where I have my PEM file, and I'll paste the SSH command. Now the curl command. I think there is two. Let me take both. Okay, right. Now we need the private IP of your search it. Okay, and we'll change the admin username and password, Splunk username and password. Okay, right. Let's run one by one both these commands as the root user. Okay, the other one. What did I do? Okay, it is executed. Okay, why? Did I leave any value or is there any mistake? Okay. Sorry.
Don't sleep on me.
It was wrong in the documentation itself. Still, there is some issue.
Output mode, JSON,
Ah,
output mode.
okay.
Yeah.
Anywhere else?
No, I think that's
okay.
Is the username and password correct?
Yes, yes.
And okay, everything looked correct.
I mean, I have used this before. It worked.
The username password, same username password. Okay.
I mean, I used the same one for the previous case. It worked, right? With the same.
Yeah. Correct.
Okay. I think there is something wrong with the URL.
Is the IP address correct? Like, is the IP address is?
Okay, let me check.
Search. Yeah.
Search it.
241.
So this is the one, 31, 79, 244. Okay. Okay. Okay, this is for Splunk apps or? I don't think this will affect because okay, anyways, let's proceed with the steps, and I haven't faced this issue before. Let's
Actually, like usually when the credentials are not correct, we get this action forbidden. So now I'm not sure why it is coming. Anyways,
okay.
Proceed to the next one. Like if they're throwing the error, then it will come.
My concern is, so this one was a Splunk app for SOAR, right? So this is actually installed in the indexer, but we are trying to run this command in the search it using the search.
No, you should install it in the search it, right?
No, I mean, I tried it with that one only.
Yeah, because in the screenshot, like you say, check the above step. So it was installed on the search it, both of the app, right?
Okay. I mean, I'm getting your point.
Yeah. Yeah. So this one. SIEM on the search it.
Index. Okay, anyways, I'll install it here.
Installed on the search it. Actually, it has to be on both the places.
Okay, sorry. Okay, we'll do it in this one only.
Yeah, search it. It has those configurations, right? So the index related configurations will be in the indexer and the
okay. So you're saying like to be installed in both the sites. Okay.
Yeah, actually it has to be split and installed, but you know.
I mean, I have tried with before when I was working on this use case with the standalone, so I didn't face this. Okay.
Yeah. Please start.
Okay, and do we have anything else? This has to be selected, and these two are the last steps. Yeah, okay. That's it. After that, we can directly connect it. Okay.
Yeah. Once that is installed, we can execute those commands again. So let's see.
Okay. These two commands, we have to execute it once.
The certificates, okay, anyways, execute this. No,
certificates?
No, you please continue. I'll
okay.
we'll discuss.
This one was already executed, so let's just try this Splunk app. SOAR. Yeah, that's it. Tab was a dependency. Okay, now and again, if that is the case, we have to change some roles as well. Let me go to roles again. Let's verify once because we installed new app, right? So let's click on admin. Yeah, you see, as we have installed that app here, we have some other roles, Splunk app and anything else. Okay, Phantom, delete, power, dashboards. Yeah, okay. Let me save the rules. Knowledge. That's it. So now this step is already done in the SOAR side. Now let's go back and let's try to connect it. Coming back, I'm going to the Splunk app for SOAR export, sorry, and click on configurations, create server, and this is where we have to paste the authorization, which we copy token, special character, okay, right, and the option name. I'll just give a SOAR, and now, right. So if you see the Splunk has added the server configuration, which means it is able to communicate with your SOAR, it is able to contact it. So it is connected, right? Without any issues. If there was any issue with your connection, you might not see this. You will face the issue here itself. Now, okay. Now I think we can proceed with our setup, which we were doing. Yeah, so these parts are done. And in the search it, we have connected the SOAR. Yeah, we have to test the connectivity. Where? Splunk server. Okay. If you scroll to the right, you have this manage option here, right? Click on that and you can again verify the connection. Yes, it is connected anyways. Just to double check. And now, yeah, now we can go ahead and proceed with our alert creation, right? Going to that settings, searches, reports or alerts. Okay, I'm choosing a search and reporting app to create that, and I'll create the new alert. So this is where we are going to write our query. Okay, so this is the search query. Other than administrator, admin, user, so these names, right, account names, if any other user tries the failed login is happening, right, those user has to be blocked, and the condition is count greater than is equal to 3, more than 3 attempts. And one more thing here, the index is main, but the client data we have stored in the win index, right? So I'll change that Windows index. Just to check, I'll just, sorry, I was thinking the search app was open. Okay. We don't have any connection attempts here, no problem. I'll keep that there, we'll verify it later. And the app, and this can be shared in app for the permissions, and scheduled. I'm going to run on a cron schedule for every 2 minutes. Okay, expires 24 hours. Okay, I'll leave that as default. Yeah. So this is where our main focus is. Once this alert is triggered, right? So the trigger action, what it should do, right? So that's what we are going to do here. Send to the SOAR. So now, once you click that option, you will be able to see the values which you can select related to SOAR. Here you can see the SOAR connection which we created in the previous step, right? So that you can select it. And the sensitivity, I'll treat this as a high sensitivity, like severity. I'll select default high, and label it is events anyways. Yeah, it is optional. Container name. Yeah, other things we can leave it. These are the main things, and your search results will be forwarded to your SOAR. Let me click on save. Okay. Correct. Can check it once. This is for SOAR, and admin user has created it, and it is app sharing. Okay. Okay. So now the Splunk side we have created the alert, right? Once the data is sent there, there should be something that has to be executed. That is nothing but the playbook. So we have to create the playbook in the SOAR. So I'll go to the SOAR and I'll create the playbook. Again, go to the administration. So here, click on playbooks. Once again, yeah, here I'll go for click new playbook. Okay, we actually have a template. I think we'll use that. Or else we have to do it like from the start. Check. So this is the name active. I'll give the name as AD client user account logging. Okay, and I'll save this. So here, this operates on events, the search results, whatever we collected from the Splunk. Okay, and category uncategorized and run as automation. Wait, sorry. Yeah, we have to enable the logging and active, run automatically when artifacts created. Logging and enable. Yes, people. So this is it, and then we have to, let's save this as a first step, and for the second iteration we'll create the action blocks. Okay, right. So all the playbook settings are done. Now action part, right? So this is the action part. I'll click on this. Okay, I have the AD LDAP app installed, right? So that's the reason it is auto populating. Okay, if you click on this, you can select what are the things which you are able to do using that app, right? You can add group members, remove and unlock, disable, enable, right? So our aim is to disable the user account, right? So I'm going to select the disable account. Okay, once this is done, so we have to disable, use same account name and the user. So the certificate, sorry, I have to create a username key here. Yeah, and then in the advanced, scope is all artifacts, and then reviewer, user or role. Let's verify once. Action we have selected, and yeah, disable account was selected, and the input I have enabled it, and under the user I have created a new field username and yes. And what else? Yeah, advanced tab. Okay. Any questions? Which app? Okay. Morgan, can you please check that?
There is a template. Like you finish this, then we'll show them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The scope is all artifacts and the reviewer, user or role. Okay. Right. So that's it. We are good. Now let me save this. Done. Okay. Before saving, we have to connect. So the start, and after this action is done, it should end. Let me save this. Okay. Let me save this. Okay, right. The playbook is created. Yeah. The next step, right? We are going to validate it. I'm going to make a repeated failed logins on the client machine. Okay, and then we are going to see whether that account is going to be logged or not. Okay. So for that, let me first use one user, and I'll show you whether he's able to log in or not. And I'll try wrong passwords for the 4 times, and I'll show you whether we are able to log in or not. So let me open that. The client machine. Okay. Okay, one second. So let's not log in as an administrator user. Okay, I try to log in as a like the other user we have created, right? So I'll do that. So here I'll use Morgan at softmania.test. So this is the user. Now I'll try to log in. And the password. Okay. Now with that username, we are able to log in. Okay. I'll once the server is on, I'll sign out and I'll try to use the same username. I'll use wrong passwords and I'll try to attempt for 4 times. Okay. I'll sign out. Okay, again, RDP. And yeah, as the same user, right? We'll try to connect. So this time I'm just giving some random passwords. First attempt is wrong, and I'll give the second attempt. That is also wrong. Third. Okay, I have tried 4 times, right? Now I'll try with the correct password. Okay, I think it is not executed yet.
It takes 2 minutes.
Right, yeah, we gave 2 minutes interval. Sorry.
Yes, yes. You try it 4 more times.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, our SIM solution is slow. So
Yeah,
our
yeah, yeah.
client, 2 minutes slow. And this brute force says 1,000 times. They will try multiple times, right? So you continuously try. So in the background, the SIM SOAR should automate it and block it. So till then, we should try. You gave 2 minutes or 5 minutes for the alert?
We gave 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. Please check if the alert is running.
Okay. Yeah. Let's check that one. Okay.
Run recent.
Okay.
View recent. Yeah, events 0. So we did not run that. Run this manually. Check if it is populating. Yeah, I mean, so give it. It is the data is coming now. Give it 2 minutes, so it will get locked.
Okay.
So what is the next schedule time for this alert? Can you go and check? UTC 11:20.
So server time.
Yeah. Can you check what is the UTC time now?
Okay. Okay, you want me to check
Yeah,
the main previous?
in the internet, like what is UTC time?
Okay, UTC time.
Yeah. It's 11:30. So when are we going to get this? Refresh the screen, please. Yeah. Yeah. So you see it triggered now. The first row.
Yes.
It triggered.
10 events. Okay.
Yeah. Now try to log in.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is disabled. I use the correct password actually. It is disabled. We can also let's validate from the Active Directory as well.
Yeah.
So where do we have? Yeah, MSSP. In that I have this user. Yeah, you see, for this user it is showing enable account. For the other user, yeah, disable account, which means this user is disabled actually. And let's go to the SOAR and let's check once where to see that. Events. Yes, we have received events.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you select the first one, please?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So it triggered that playbook. You see, it says triggered. Yeah, it triggered the playbook. Yes, and the account is disabled. So the runtime alert came, activity created, and playbook created, and account is disabled. So
right.
the end-to-end thing automated.
Okay. That's it from my side, people. Any further questions?
Of course, this is like a very basic level of SOAR implementation. Of course, for beginner, this you practice this one. If you're able to get the end-to-end flow, right? So then for each and every data source, it's same. Onboard the data, identify the use case, write the query, and create a playbook and connect it. So like this, you can repeat multiple security use case, multiple playbooks like this. But this is going to be your base environment. On top of this, you're going to add another matrix feature. Of course, like in here, like when we are creating credentials, we use the admin credentials and everything. So when you go on intermediate and expert level, there will focus more on restricting only specific access. But for now, the end-to-end flow you need to understand. starting from Windows and onboarding data to Splunk Enterprise, connecting that enterprise to SOAR, and creating a playbook and connecting to the service. So the end-to-end loop has to be completed. So hope this bootcamp was useful. So if you have any questions or feedback, please do share us. Of course, as we said, so we have this bootcamp repeated again from the Monday, and we have restructured the syllabus as well. We shared it in the group. So that has a few more, like many people ask dashboard development and alerts and Splunk enterprise security terminologies as well. Of course, we cannot cover all of them in a 10 days live session. So we are going to introduce you to the all areas, and we are going to help you to set up the base environment. On top of that, you can learn other things actually. So now it is for you. So please share your feedback, and if you have any questions, please feel free to ask.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the quality of the presentation and for sharing the information. Yeah, it was very interesting. Thank you.
Okay, man. Thanks, man. Thanks. Thank you. Yeah.
Sorry, my English is not very good because I'm from French. So yeah.
No problem.
No issues. Actually, the accent, to understand the accent, right? It is little difficult. Other than that, your English is good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem. Yeah.
Ramani, I had a question.
Yes, Anusha. Yes.
So, what about search queries? Didn't now when the attack happens and you do the search query, what kind of queries we can look into? Is that not included?
No, that is what in the next cycle. So if now it is the bootcamp is first round is completed, right? So from the Monday we are going to start this bootcamp again. So in that we are going to include around 10 security use cases and 10 observability use cases. So in that we will look at different queries, how to find out each and every security use case. But for this cycle, this is it. Then when we are going for the second cycle from Monday, you will be able to see all those things.
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. Any other questions, people, from anyone?
Looks like no. Okay, then if you have any questions or if you want to discuss anything, please feel free to reach out to us. Or you can put it in the group. So if you have topic specific questions, right, I would suggest you to put it in the group so that other people like you who have the same questions, they can also get to know. So rather than DMing, unless it is a one-to-one, like if you want to discuss anything, you can put it a DM to us. But apart from that, please put everything on the WhatsApp group. Yeah? It will be clear.
Thank you. And we still didn't get feedback.
Nobody's ready to give.
Yeah, my team will be asking me. You won't ask him. They will be asking me. Please give some comments.
This is like Raman is boring. That's not the feedback I can give. Yeah. Okay, people. I'm positives are fine, but if you feel anything can be improved, any negative points, all those things, that is what we are most interested in, so that it can be improved for the future session. Of course, this is a 10 days bootcamp. We are trying to cut short all the concept. The aim of this beginner bootcamp is for anybody to get started. Of course, many people asked, like, can you cover advanced session? No, the aim of this bootcamp is not the advanced one. To get the basics clear and to help you to set up the end-to-end one basic environment, on top of which you can start self-learning. So that is what the aim of this beginner bootcamp. So I understand you are looking for advanced level, but yeah, we do have intermediate and expert level bootcamps. If you are interested, please refer them. In this beginner bootcamp, these are going to be the surface level topics. Okay. And yeah, once again, thanks everyone and have a good day.
Just regarding the registration, please, where could we find it?
Are you in the WhatsApp group? If not, let me put the link here. I'll put the link here.
Yeah.
So you can find out the intermediate and expert level content here. I kept the link here in the chat, and I'll also keep the link in the WhatsApp group.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Have a great weekend.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.